There is a hidden history that's been deliberately obfuscated from the peoples of the world, and that's why I am on the trail of the Nephilim.
The Genesis 6 narrative states that the Nephilim are on the earth in those days and also afterwards. If that's true, can we find evidence that corroborates this? I'm L.A. Marzulli. Join me as we go on the trail of the Nephilim.
My lead story today, this came in from someone who watches the show, and I can't remember his name. Please forgive me. I apologize for that, but I get so many emails and stuff just gets lost in the shuffle. But this gentleman was kind enough to go on Google Earth, and what you'll see here is the line. And it goes from America, Stonehenge to Stonehenge, England, and it arrives at a very interesting point, and I will get into that and so much more. But first, a word from our sponsor. The hype about collagen is real. Over 1,100 people participated in a study that demonstrated that collagen supplements are some of the best ways to improve the quality and health of your skin. The study found that taking collagen for 90 days is effective in reducing the appearance of skin aging. Collagen does this by improving skin elasticity and hydration. So don't believe in naysayers. Collagen does work. Collagen is one of the most effective ways to strengthen joints, bones, and ligaments, support skin health, and help hair and nail growth. The best thing about using this powder is that it comes with free shipping, free VIP live health and fitness coaching for life, and a free e-report entitled The 14 Foods for Amazing Skin. If you want to improve skin and joint health and help slow down the effects of aging, you're going to want to make sure you take collagen, this powder, every single day. Folks, get up to 51% off in your order today by going to healthwithla.com. That's healthwithla.com, plus, of course, free shipping. And here's, drum roll, please, here's the biggie. If you don't like it, you get a 60-day money-back guarantee. Nothing to lose. The risk is just a little bit of your time and drinking collagen for like 60 days. Give it a shot. I take it every day, and I have noticed a difference. Okay, there you go. Health with LA. That's healthwithla.com. So we see this line. We've talked about this before. And before I get into this, let me just tell you what our mission statement here is on Spiral of Life. That's our publishing company. That's the banner under which all the videos are made. Spiral of Life Publishing. That's it. All the videos, all the books, everything. There is a hidden history. You've heard me say this numerous times. But our mission statement is to expose the deception of the prince of the power of the air. That's the dragon, i.e. Satan. And to herald the return of the king, Jesus. Because I think we're in the window of time where the king is going to come back. He's got the title deed. He is going to come back. He will return. Where is the promise of his coming? Oh, he's coming. He will not delay. Trust me. I might not be here to see it, but I'm a white horse rider in the service of the king, and I'll just leave it at that. So we see here this line, which is going from America, Stonehenge, through the Stonehenge in England, and then it arrives at a very interesting point. Now here's the shot. I've shown this before. You're standing in the center of America, Stonehenge. In front of you is the summer solstice standing stone. There's the sun. Boom. It's dead center. Notice the point on the stone. Notice the sun. It's absolutely dead center. So Kelsey Stone went on Google Earth. You've heard me talk about this before, and I'll show you the clip at the end where they extend the line, and sure enough, it bisects the center trilithons at Stonehenge, England. So Kelsey extended the line, and it wound up in Beirut. Now, Beirut is the home of the Phoenicians, which is why we get this, the Bowstone, right? The Phoenicians were the home of the Canaanites. I'm not making this stuff up. That's the dedication stone that you can see here that was found under about a foot or two of rubble, under a collapsed chamber at America's Stonehenge. It says, to Baal of the Canaanites in dedication. Now, what the heck is that doing there? It's written in Iberian Punic. So, the skeptic goes, oh, well, that's a forgery. Okay, so I'm going to forge this on a stone and bury it under a collapsed chamber and hope that somebody just might find it. And then when they do find it, it's going to sit in the museum for 11 years. Wow, am I profiting off this, right? Look, Professor Barry Fell came in from Harvard. Smart. So Fell came in, looked at the stone, said, looks like Iberian Punic. I think I can translate it. To Baal of the Canaanites in dedication. What is that stone doing in New Hampshire, for crying out loud? So here's the deal. The line that we know that extends from America's Stonehenge, and I'll go back to the summer solstice standing stone you can see right there. When you draw that line out, it basically bisects the two trilithons at Stonehenge, England. But then when you continue it, and this is where it gets really interesting, I redid it using the Google Earth marker as my base for Hermon, and the tree line at America's Stonehenge on the other side. That means Stonehenge in the UK about 7.7 miles away from my line. Regardless, it is a very, very close match. We might be able to massage that in some way where all the points line up. I believe that they do. I believe that they do line up. But here's the deal. It lines up with Mount Hermon. And if that is true, that is absolutely mind-boggling. Why? Because Mount Hermon is the place where Chuck Missler, I'm quoting Chuck, where all the mischief began thousands of years ago. How do we know that? There's Gilgal Raphaim in the shadow of Mount Hermon. I have been there. By the way, we are leading a tour of Israel in 2023. We'll have this up soon. And you can sign up for that. It is a NEPHILIM tour. We just go to NEPHILIM sites, although we will spend some time in the Old City. You got to go to the Old City, and Golgotha. But here's the deal, folks. We will be at Gilgal Raphaim. We will be on Mount Hermon. You will see that. We will tour those sites. It's a NEPHILIM tour of Israel, because this is where all the mischief really happened. And of course, we will be crawling down into the tomb right below. Lots of construction going by. My neighbor is building his house, so that's the noise. So the book of Enoch, which is not canonical, although the book of Jude quotes the book of Enoch. In my opinion, if you were going to keep one book out of the canon, that's the book you keep out. Why? Because it tells you exactly what's going on. It tells you the seed war and how the seed war erupts. And it puts to rest all this nonsense about the godly line of Seth, mating with the hoochie mamas of Cain. Speaking of Genesis 6, when sons and daughters were born to to mankind, the sons of God, right, saw the daughters of men that they were beautiful and they took wives. Well, sons of God is B'nai Elohim. You've heard me talk about this. This is my wheelhouse. This is the essence of what we do here constantly, because if it's not that, then we don't understand the rest of the Bible. Because in Genesis 3:15, Jesus, the pre-incarnate Christ, is in the garden, and he points to the dragon. Your seed, your offspring, will be at enmity, at war with the seed, the offspring of the woman. One coming from the woman will crush the dragon's head. 3 chapters later, right? Genesis 6. So get this. The book of Enoch speaks of a group of fallen angels who rebelled against God and came down to earth and shared such ancient knowledge with the human race. And they were in all 200 fallen angels, aka the Watchers, who descended in the days of Jared on the summit of Mount Hermon. And all the others together with them took unto themselves wives, and each chose for himself one. And they began to go into them, and to defile themselves with them. And they taught them charms and enchantments, and the cutting of roots, and made them acquainted with plants, ayahuasca maybe? And they became pregnant, and they bore great giants whose height was very, very tall, who consumed all the acquisitions of men. And when men could no longer sustain them, the giants turned against them and devoured mankind. And Azazel taught men to make swords, that's technology, and knives and shields and breastplates, and made known to them the metals of the earth and the art of working them, and bracelets and ornaments, and the use of antimony, and the beautifying of the eyelids, and all kinds of costly stones, and all coloring tinctures. And there arose much godlessness, and they committed fornication, and they led astray and became corrupt in all of their ways. Semyaza taught enchantments and root cuttings. Armoros, the resolving of enchantments. Barakilgel taught astrology. Kokabelli, right? The flute player that Native Americans talked about. The constellations. Ezekiel, the knowledge of the clouds. Erikiel, the signs of the earth. Shamsiel, the signs of the sun. Sariel, the course of the moon. There's your 18-and-a-half-year lunar cycle. It came from the fallen ones who descended where? On Mount Hermon. And that's why that is absolutely so incredible to think that there might be a connection between America Stonehenge, the summer solstice standing stone, Stonehenge, England, and Mount Hermon. If there is, and we can prove that, that would be the greatest archaeological discovery, in my opinion, of the century, hands down, because it shows that something is going on here, right? There is a hidden history that's deliberately obfuscated from the peoples of the world. So we are at America Stonehenge with Fritz Zimmerman, with Dennis Stone, the owner of the site, and we talk about the Axis Mundi. Here it is right here. Which is astounding to me, that they tracked this down to, because of the tilt of the earth and everything else, about 1800 BC, which fits the timeline, which you've been told that the site is about 4,000 years old, plus or minus a couple hundred years. I mean, I get that. It also ties in with our theory that there was a diaspora of giants, and that these giants, the NEPHILIM, left the Levant. It's incredible that you can't do this. You can't. It's not a coincidence that you line up the summer solstice stone and wind up intersecting the center trilithon at Stonehenge. Okay, that's a coincidence, right? But then you've got Machu Picchu, Sacsayhuaman, you've got Teotihuacan in Mexico, and Chaco Canyon. That becomes astounding because we're looking at thousands of miles of distance between these points. And Fritz, what are your thoughts when you hear that, when you see this?
Well, what I never realized, this is the Axis Mundi of the ancient world, that everything is emanating out of this spot right here.
The Axis Mundi, the center of the world, is the title of this film. And I want to point out to you what we just saw moments ago in the film. Webster defines the Axis Mundi as a line or stem to the Earth's center, connecting its surface to the underworld and the heavens around which the universe revolves. Fritz Zimmerman's finger pointed to the center of America's Stonehenge and called it the Axis Mundi. He did this because from this point, there are direct alignments that connect America's Stonehenge to other sites, specifically Chaco Canyon, Teotihuacan, Machu Picchu, the pyramids on the Canary Islands, and of course, Stonehenge, England. What makes this astonishing is this: the Earth is a globe, and thus there is no straight line running between these sites. Whoever orchestrated these precise alignments that are drawn from the standing stones that are aligned with the solstices and equinoxes at America's Stonehenge knew about the curvature of the Earth. Even more incredible is the fact of the positioning of America's Stonehenge so that the solstices and equinoxes would connect to these other points around the globe. As we have stated, the only way to accomplish this is to know about the curvature of the Earth, as well as applying advanced trigonometry to accomplish the connection. How was this done thousands of years ago?
You call it the navel?
Yeah.
So there you have it, the Axis Mundi, the center of the world. And all those standing stones point to other sites, which is absolutely incredible. Folks, if you're interested, and I pray to God you are, because there is something going on that you're not taught, but that's why we're on the trail. There are all of the 7 of them on the Trail of the Nephilim series. Lost Civilization is the last one. We were working on out-of-place artifacts. We are trying to get that out. in the next couple of months, but you can go to our streaming.lamarzulli.net, streaming.lamarzulli.net, and binge watch all of them. Or you can order the DVDs. By the way, you can see UFO Part 2. If you open up the text box right below this video, you can watch Part 1 and Part 2. We're working on Part 3. I said the end of July. We're not going to make it. We're still working on CGI on that. But I'm saying probably sometime in August, we'll have that done for you. Anyway, folks, we're working on Part 3 of UFO Disclosure. And that is the new film, like we've been talking about. So you can check all that out. Thanks so much for watching On the Trail of the Nephilim. Remember, there is a hidden history that's been deliberately obfuscated from you and me. And that's why I am on the trail of the Nephilim. Thanks so much for watching.